House to Home, brought to you by RE/MAX Diamond Realty.
It's that time of the program where we talk about island real estate, and we welcome back the lovely ladies from RE/MAX Diamond Realty Guam, Gina and Liz. Ladies, half a day once again.
Half a day.
And I've seen your pictures have basically adorned Guam available real estate for many, many years now. But Gina, I must say, you've got this three-dimensional,
my 3D sign.
Yeah, very, very clever, because you've actually got two signs back to back, so you can't miss seeing it from in either direction.
I want you to know how proud I was when I had that sign go up. I went all around the office and I said, I now can say I have a 3D sign.
Yeah. May I just say, at least in KUM's eyes, you are the unofficial queen of Upper
There
Tuban.
you go.
So. Well, ladies, one thing that we've been talking about here on the few years that we've been doing this segment now is getting pre-qualified for a loan, getting your financial affairs in order, getting the paperwork, talking to the bank, hopefully dressing good so you make a good impression. But it's a lot more than just showing up at the bank, signing a few documents, and then putting in your application, then hopefully saying the novena a few times so that it'll turn out well. What exactly should you do to prepare for that moment? Because it's not just a snap decision.
No, if you've made the decision that now's the time for you to buy real estate, you're right. There's a lot of things you've got to do in advance. Number one, credit reports right now are the key to everything with the banks. There used to be some fluctuation. The bank used to be able to have different criterias for the credit reports, but now they've tightened up on that. It's really strict. So your credit report is key. If you haven't already gone to a lender to get pre-qualified so you can get some idea of what your credit report looks like, I would say find a lender that you're happy with, somebody maybe you're already using, or someone who offers a program that you're interested in using. Go in there, sit down, ask about getting the pre-qualification done, and see if it is possible to get a credit report in advance. So you can look through that to see what you need to do to prepare yourself. That's key number one.
Well, Liz, what's kind of a general ballpark of what people on Guam should be looking for? Like, say they want to buy a home, and you like family of four, so they probably want like at least 3 bedrooms, at least 2, possibly 3, 2 bathroom. Should they be looking like in the 200,000 range, or like as far as just being able to roadmap exactly how much they're going to take out and everything? What should they be looking for?
Well, the problem now is there are limits with the homes that are available. The newer homes right now are priced in the 3s. I mean, you're lucky if you get something like 295. What is it? Paradise Estates. I know they're 295 to 3 something, 320, but it's subject to availability. We've had people call wanting those homes, but there are not that many available. And then there's a project in Jigo, which was Paradise Meadows, and those were in the 2s as well. Again, limited because they're being bought up rather quickly. So it's a matter of checking with a realtor. We will go through the multiple listing service to see what homes are available. So when someone calls us, we don't just pull out RE/MAX listings. We actually pull the multiple listing services, which is a wide range of homes that are available from all the real estate offices. So again, it's a matter of finding out what the individual buyer's requirements are and then trying to match that with what is currently available. So there are subdivisions out there, or matching them with land and working out details with a contractor to try to make that work for them.
So now we've talked about getting your credit scores and like figuring all that, and then possibly finding out what you qualify for and then what's available in the market.
Right. The key I want to bring up is pre-qualification, as Gina says, is very critical, because once we take them out there, let's say they look first before knowing what they pre-qualify for. If the home is worth $350,000, but they only qualify for $250,000, it's disheartening. So you're kind of putting like the cart before the horse. What we want to do is get them pre-qualified, get into the bank. And even though you have a high credit score, sometimes there are other factors that are involved which prohibits them from getting a loan. So on the front end, there's a lot of paperwork processing in order to determine what is their true budget when we take them out. Now,
if somebody say like they have their dream house and the kids fall in love with it, like in Second one of those deals, I'm sure you've seen many of them, and they say, okay, this is where we want our home to be, but then they go to the bank and they find out that they did not qualify for the exact amount. should a prospective buyer go to other banks and just say, like, let me get like a second opinion, almost like a medical analogy?
You know, I always encourage them to go to at least 2 or 3 lenders because each lender is a little different. Their criterias are a little different. And sometimes it's more about, you know you're going to use a mortgage, but there are different types of mortgages. Not all the banks offer the same type of mortgage. And then the other factor is, you may get pre-qualified so you understand what the amount is that you want to spend, but what is it going to cost you to get this loan? Yes, the bank is going to qualify you and they're going to tell you what they're willing to give you. They're also going to tell you what they're going to charge you in order for you to get that loan. And that's another subject is, do you have that out-of-pocket expense to cover your closing costs? So there's so many variables to it.
Okay, well, final question before we go to commercial break. This obviously, as we said, is not a weekend project. How many months, if not years, as lead time should a prospective buyer plan before they actually, start going through the motions and start doing the actual paperwork?
Actually, they should give themselves about 6 months to get going.
Half a year?
6 months, basically, but it could mean if they identify a piece of property and all the pieces are in place, it could happen within a 2-month window. Just remember, you need 45 to 60 days. Well, 45 is changing with some of the new banking requirements, so let's say 60 days. So a 60-day window for the processing. 30 days out is identifying the property. So things could happen fairly quickly. It's just a question of how diligent they are with the process and filling out all the proper documentation so it doesn't delay the process. That's where things happen. If you don't fill out the form, the loan documents, it could delay it further.
Well, with help from fine folks like you and, like having your proper paperwork in order and a little bit of luck, hopefully it'll be as painless and speedy as possible.
That's our goal.
All right. Well, thank you very much. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so everybody, we'll see you on the flip side of this break. Stay tuned.